And so as we begin our reflection today, I have a fun question for all of you, and that is, what makes the Holy Family holy? Now, the obvious answer might be, well, it's the people that make it up. They're holy. Now, I mean, you're not wrong. You can't really get much better than Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Like, #1 all-star picks right there. They're like the Dodgers of families. You're not going to beat them. But our families are also called to be holy. And so I propose that it's not actually the members of the family that make them holy. It's rather the individual members of the family who are inviting God to be at the center of their lives. That's what makes us holy. Not that, we can't outduel Mary and Joseph and Jesus, but we can invite God to be at the heart of our family like they did, like Jesus would have experienced throughout all of his life, learning, growing in faith. And so a family united around God, where he is involved in all the various parts of their family life, where God's welcomed, where he walks with them, he talks with them. We can often treat God just kind of like a kindly uncle, like we talk about him every now and again, and maybe he comes over every so often. But we're looking for something more, that God is an actual member of our family, someone who we talk about, who we talk to. Through baptism, God invites us to be members of his family. And so we're called to likewise and welcome him into our family. And as we learn to do that over time, we're changed. Our families not only become holy, but the individual members who make it up, we're transformed. And that's how all of our families can be holy alongside the one holy family. So what does that look like concretely? So I believe it starts when we realize that God is not afraid of the messiness in our lives, the messiness that we sometimes have in our families. We have to make peace with the fact that our families will never be perfect, simply because we belong in them. And last time I checked, I'm not perfect yet. I still sin, I still fail to love my family as I ought. But rather than seeing that as something that causes God to draw away from us, to draw back from our families, we remember that that is precisely what draws him to us, that Jesus came to call not the righteous but sinners. And that means that so long as we're willing to recognize that our families are not perfect, that we could be a more holy, a more devout family, God comes close. It's only when we say, you know what, I think we got it figured out. I think we're doing pretty good. We seek to stop growing. That's the only obstacle that we can put up. And so the first step for us into growing and becoming holy families is simply inviting God in, bringing to him all the ways that your family is not perfect, asking him to help. Ask for that next step. What does it look like for us to grow closer to you as a family? What can we do?